Hello, Cathlab Fit team. Thank you for joining me. This is your friend and colleague, Dr. Simon Gorwara, from my meditation room. And I'd like to start by thanking my partner, Dr. Rajiv Narayan, for organizing this and for involving all of us here in a group activity centered around fitness and well-being. And thank you to each and every one of you for participating in this and making this meaningful and successful. And I also want to thank you all for recognizing the importance of fitness, both physical as well as emotional and mental fitness. And that's what today is going to be about, is meditation and awareness and establishing a strong sense of self. So again, this is my meditation room. I can show you around, brief tour. I have my altar over there, my Hudson Valley sunrise, some pictures, dogs, and it's Mount Kilimanjaro, Tree of Life. And I've kind of surrounded this room with things that are meaningful to me, that help inspire me and bring me into a calm state of mind. I mentioned that just in case any of you have the option of creating a little space. It doesn't have to be a full room. It can be just a small little area or a chair or an altar or something like that. That can be helpful in developing a practice in a place that you can come to that you feel centered and at peace. So just a few words about meditation before we get into the guided meditation for today. A lot of people have concerns about meditation, and they've tried it and say, this is not for me. I can't focus my mind. It's too intense. It's too uncomfortable. It's too boring. And when they try meditation, they find that they're unable to blank out their mind, and their mind gets filled with thoughts, and then it just gets irritating. And I feel a lot of that arises from a misconception that meditation should be about making your mind blank, and that anything less than that is just failure, and you just keep trying harder and harder. And with that comes a lot of judgment about self, which really is antithetical to the purpose of meditation and defeatist. Thoughts arise. They arise in beginning meditators and in advanced meditators. And the difference between more advanced meditators and beginning meditators, I would say, is the attachment to those thoughts. So if a thought arises while we're trying to focus on something, and we recognize that thought and acknowledge it and say, that's a thought, and let it go until the next thought arises and continue the same, then we're able to continue and maintain our state of calm and our state of peace through our meditation practice. If we have a thought that arises and then get upset with ourselves and say, oh, no, I'm failing, that's another thought that arose, then that becomes disruptive to the calming process. Another way to look at it is, every time that we catch ourselves drifting, our minds losing concentration, going into something, instead of saying, oh, there I go failing again, that's actually a marker of success, because you're able to catch yourself and not go away blindly following that thought, and instead you can come back to whatever your point of focus is and say, check, I caught myself once, I caught myself twice. And the more times one is able to do that, the more one is training one's mind to become more in control of one's thought processes. Eventually one recognizes that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts come to us, and we can sit in the position of being the observer of our thoughts. And that comes down to recognizing who we truly are. Are we those random thoughts that come of irritation or anxiety or anger or happiness or joy? Or are we something deeper and more meaningful that is able to observe those thoughts and not necessarily get carried away and lost in that? And by doing so, we can then create a little bit of space between us and our thoughts so that we're not immediately reacting to every thought that we get. We can have a thought and then decide, okay, there's a thought, and do I want to pursue that? And yes, that sounds like something that is in line with my intuition, in line with my intention, and I will pursue that thought. Or no, that's not a thought that was helpful for me, and I don't want to continue down the pathway where that thought is leading me. And eventually, as one gets more and more control over that, it can bring more ease and grace into our lives. So with meditation, there are different types. There's guided meditation, or there's just doing it on your own. With guided meditations, there's multiple resources available. We're going to go through a guided meditation today. There's the Calm app or the Waking Up app, two very helpful apps that can be used to get guided meditations. My suggestion would be to find something that works for you and create a practice, maybe 10 minutes a day if possible, or less, or every other day, just to get started, and notice whether that is making a difference in how you feel during the day. It did for me when I started anyway. Sometimes we can just meditate without using any apps, without using any guided meditation techniques, just by going to a focal point and trying to focus on that point. And as I said before, when a thought comes, you let it come and then you let it disappear. The focal point is often, most common one that is used in meditation is breathing. Sometimes it can be a mantra, sometimes it can be an image of a god, or a mountain, or something else that inspires you. Sometimes people meditate by going through different parts of the body and relaxing that part of the body, starting at one point and going to the next, and so forth, which keeps the mind occupied as we're doing that. But as I said, the most common one is focusing on the breathing. The breathing is something that is always with us. A calm breathing leads to a calm state of mind, and is something that we can tap into at any point during the day. And it's an easy way of finding something to be present with. And then the other one, which I want to talk to you about, is called a metta meditation, which is used in some Buddhist practices, METTA. And that's what I'd like us to practice today. This is a loving kindness meditation. And so without further ado, let's get started on that. So I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit upright in a chair. You want to have a relatively straight spine to allow flow. You can have something supporting your back, or sit up against a wall or a chair. It could be anywhere. And you can do it with eyes closed is the most common way. Sometimes to mix things up, people do meditation with eyes open, but for today we'll do eyes closed. So, and we'll do a 10-minute meditation, and I'll start now. So find a comfortable seat and close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathe in, gently breathe out. Starting off with deep breaths. And then eventually allow the breathing to take its own pattern, as if you are the passive recipient of the breathing. And as thoughts arise, come back to the breathing. Breathing in, breathing out at your own pace. Now I'd like to ask you to think of someone that you're very fond of, someone you love, someone you respect and admire, and you look up to. Think of this person. Now I want you to center yourself in your heart. For a moment, ask your brain to take a rest, ask your mind to take a rest. It has served you so well. You're safe. You don't need to be on guard. We settle into our hearts, and from our hearts, we send out wishes to this person that we're thinking of, this person that we look up to and respect and admire. And we send thoughts of loving kindness. We say, may you be happy. May you know peace. May you experience ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. Breathing in and out. Sending thoughts of loving kindness. And as thoughts arise, distractions, recognize them, welcome them, acknowledge them. Come back to your breathing. Come back to your heart. Settle in your heart. Send out thoughts of loving kindness. May you be happy. May you know peace. May you feel ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. Now, I'd like you to think of someone else, someone who's just an acquaintance. You don't know them that well. You see them often. And you send out wishes to them as well. You send thoughts of loving kindness from your heart. May you be happy. May you know peace. May you feel ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. Breathing in and out. Sending out these thoughts of loving kindness. To this acquaintance that you see casually. Could be one of your co-workers, somebody in your neighborhood, a distant relative. May you be happy. May you know peace. May you feel ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. And as other thoughts come and distractions come, don't fight them. Don't push them away. Acknowledge them. Let them settle down and float away. Come back to your breathing. And send out these thoughts of loving kindness. And now, we're going to move on to something a little more challenging. I want you to think of somebody who you dislike. Somebody that annoys you, irritates you. Not somebody that you have a very difficult relationship with, who is perhaps there's been abuse or violence. You won't go there. Just somebody that rubs you the wrong way. And think of this person and send thoughts of loving kindness. Recognize that their actions are perhaps rooted in confusion, lack of understanding, or fear. Perhaps they never received the same kind of guidance or love and support that you did. And they suffer. And they also deserve to be loved and to be treated well. And they're worthy of kindness. So we send this person or these people our thoughts of loving kindness. And we say, may you be happy. May you know peace. May you feel ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. And then we extend this now. We go even further. We go to all sentient beings on earth. Every living being. And we send out our thoughts of loving kindness from our hearts with our love. We say, may you be happy. May you know peace. May you feel ease and grace. May you be free of suffering. Breathing in and out. And we have one last and most important person. This one can be, perhaps, for some of us, the most challenging. When we go into our hearts, and we send out thoughts and wishes of loving kindness to ourselves. And we wish for ourselves, saying, may you be happy. May I know peace. May I feel free of suffering. May I experience ease and grace. For we too are worthy of kindness. We too are worthy of love. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure. Love to get your feedback. As I said, there are many different types of meditations and medications. This was one of them, a loving kindness meditation, which I hope you enjoyed. Look forward to seeing you and to our next session together. Take care.